important question. Just how safe are gas hot water heaters?
The one in your home could be a hidden fire hazard. News 12 consumer reporter Andrew Enger joins us now. Some startling information as we begin our special two-part series, The Danger Downstairs. Andrew.
You know, Scott, hundreds of thousands of Long Islanders have them, gas hot water heaters. But if you use paint thinners, flammable glues, propane, or gasoline in your home with these water heaters, you could be flirting with disaster. As a result of a 3-month-long Focus 12 consumer investigation, we discovered a design flaw in water heaters that could spark a danger downstairs. It sits in your home, working 24 hours a day, silently heating water for you and your family. It's out of sight and some would say forgotten about. So when Jose Beltran began cementing new tiles in his basement, he never imagined what would happen next.
My wife don't hear nothing. All hear my cry. Help me, fire.
Beltran's gas water heater ignited vapors from the highly flammable tile cement, even though it was 15 feet away. His entire basement was engulfed in flames.
When I saw the fire on the floor, I tried to keep the extinguisher for the fire off, but it's the extinguisher is behind the fire. When I tried to fix it, I unbonded my arm, my leg.
109.
Firefighters rushed to the house, where they were able to quickly put out the flames and save the home.
Fortunately, he was very lucky because if the fumes had built up a little more, it would have been more of a flash, more fire, and who knows what could have happened.
Others haven't been so lucky. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says just about every day in the United States, someone gets injured or killed by a flammable vapor explosion sparked by a gas water heater. On Father's Day this year, 3 firefighters died when a basement gas water heater, like Mr. Beltran's, ignited some gasoline fumes. To demonstrate how flammable vapors can be ignited, we did a test with the help of the Nassau County Fire Academy. We took a new gas water heater and placed it in a special room to mimic a typical basement. We prepared to spill some gasoline, just as if a fuel can was knocked over in your home. Then we suited up in protective clothing and readied for what would happen next.
3, 2, 1, pull.
Almost immediately, the gasoline vapors ignited, engulfing our water heater and filling the room with thick black smoke and intense heat. That can happen in your basement, can it?
Yes, it can. What actually happened is before the fluid actually contacted the flame, the flammable liquids did.
To our surprise, we could only stand in the room for 23 seconds before the heat was just too much.
People need to understand that in their basement or in their utility room, they have a device with an open flame. Give it a vapor that it can ignite, you're going to have a fire and maybe even an explosion.
When the smoke cleared, the damage was obvious.
The plastic on the ground here, even our little doll, there's not much left here of what we had, what we brought into this room.
Right. This is basically what anything in this basement would look like. Anything that was plastic, anything that was wood or composite would be reduced to this.
A sobering thought, considering most folks' basements are filled with boxes, toys, clothes, in addition to household chemicals, all things that could fuel a flash fire, sparked by a water heater.
The manufacturers have done little to address the problem.
Attorney Ed Downing has represented dozens of victims of water heater-related fires and says there's a general design flaw with the heaters. They draw air for combustion 2 inches above the ground, exactly where flammable vapors collect.
There's no reason why they need to take their air for combustion from that floor level. There's absolutely no design reason it has to happen.
Now, for the last 20 years or so, all gas water heaters have had this sticker put on their front. It warns of a flammable vapor explosion. The problem is that most homeowners don't read this sticker, and they forget about this deadly, deadly problem.
That's right. As long as it's working and heating our water, we don't really think twice about it.
That's right.
So what has the industry done? Anything, Andrew?
Surprisingly, not much to nothing. In fact, they may have even ignored the problem. Tomorrow, in part 2 of The Danger Downstairs, we'll show you evidence that the industry has known of a simple solution to vapor explosions for years, and they've done little about it.
Amazing.
Andrew, thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow night.
This is News 12 Long Island.
Ever think about what you store around your gas hot water heater?
No, you should. Yesterday we showed you how flammable vapors in your home could be ignited by a gas hot water heater. But is there a solution to the problem? News 12 Long Island's consumer reporter Andrew Anger joins us now for part 2 of his investigation, The Danger Downstairs.
Lee Scott, just about any flammable vapor in your home can float over to your gas hot water heater and ignite. As part of my consumer investigation, I discovered that the gas water heater industry has known for years there was a simple solution to the problem, but has done little about it. 3, 2, 1. Accidents like this happen in the U.S. about once a day. And many experts say a decades-old design of gas water heaters is to blame. Just about all gas water heaters draw air into the combustion chamber 2 inches off the ground, right where flammable vapors can pool. Spill some gasoline, use certain glues or lacquers, and those vapors can float right over to the water heater and ignite. For years, industry and private tests have shown the potential for explosion. But the major water heater manufacturers have yet to change their aging designs.
There's been no excuse for sitting on their hands for 25 years with a cure that will reduce these fires dramatically.
That cure, Downing says, is a simple $30 stand like this. It raises the water heater up 18 inches off the ground, reducing the chance for low-lying vapors to ignite. Housing codes require the 18-inch height in high vapor areas like garages, but not in basements or utility closets. Downing's own tests show how this extra height works.
They should include a stand with each product, and if they would do that, then 90% of these fires would go away. But they choose not to do that.
The Gas Appliance Manufacturers Association refused an on-camera interview with News 12, but in a statement blames accidental ignitions from all gas appliances on users' mishandling of those flammables. The association also says the industry is focusing its efforts on the development of technology to reduce the risk of flash fires.
They're sitting back and saying we are not going to do anything by design until we have 100% cure, knowing since the mid-70s, that elevation of a water heater 18 inches above the floor will reduce the chance of these fires occurring.
In fact, News 12 obtained a copy of a U.S. patent from 1992 assigned to Rheem, the largest water heater company in the U.S. That patent was for a water heater which had a special 18-inch high air intakes for the burn chamber. That new airflow was designed to lessen the possibility that the operating burner will ignite the fumes. So why hasn't this design been built? Well, Rheem gave up the patent several years ago. The company won't say why, but Downing claims Rheem did it because owning the patent would indicate the company knew there was a design flaw with their product, and that could open the floodgates to countless lawsuits. But the American water heater company has gone in a different direction, introducing a water heater with a special screen on the air intake to the burner.
If flammable vapors come in contact with the burner, this device, located in the bottom of the combustion chamber, prevents those ignited vapors from escaping back into the room.
That flame guard technology may become standard on all new water heaters. A recent ruling from an industry standards association is requiring similar technology starting July 1st, 2002. But compliance would be voluntary. In the meantime, some 60 million older gas water heaters are still out there in people's homes. Homes like this one.
You would be surprised what you see. People store amazing things in their basements.
Fire safety inspector Charles Hoffman took a look around this home for us. Generally, he says, things were okay, except for some paint cans and containers of pesticides, which he says could leak and possibly ignite near the water heater.
The propellant is probably the flammable part. It could be propane or isobutane.
So you could set this off in your basement
go upstairs, close the door.
And blow up your house. Oh, most definitely.
Do you ever think about this stuff in your home?
No, I don't actually. I'm worried about the oil tank because I've seen some oil leak off the oil tank, but no, I've never really worried about the water heater or what's been stored down here.
Now, here are some quick safety solutions for your home. Make sure all chemicals and gasoline containers are tightly capped and in a location where they can't be knocked over by a pet or a child. And if you need to use those chemicals, turn off all the pilot lights in the house and work in a well-ventilated area, and you should be able to prevent these things.
Good advice.